Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and come with us on our journey. So today's video is a much needed declutter. If you see, I have makeup sitting all around me and it is time to get rid of some of it. I do not know exactly how many palettes I have at the moment because I've had some come in and I hadn't added them to my total. So at the end of the video, I will tell you how many I kept and how many I'm getting rid of. Ignore the mess in the background again. Also, disclaimer, I have lots of cats and you'll probably see them throughout the video. You might hear my tripod shake because they're playing around it. But if you would like to see what palettes I'm keeping, what palettes I'm getting rid of, then just keep watching. Okay, the first brand I'm going to start with is Perfusion. I'm going to try to do as much brand by brand so that way we're kind of knowing what we're keeping and getting rid of. I have this palette, the Wanderlust. Very pretty. I think I used it once. Yeah, that's a declutter. Okay, next I have this palette, Confidence. I have used this one quite a bit. Let me see. Yeah, no, I'll declutter. Infatuation, which looks like this. Declutter. Pro Pigment, which looks like that. That's a declutter. I'm sorry about the ring light. I don't know how to fix that. This is Enchanted. It's an all shimmer palette. I will keep that. Only because it comes in handy. If you hear my son in the background, I'm sorry. He's doing homeschool. And we have the Chocolates palette. It looks like that. And let that one go. The Marigold. This is pretty, but I don't remember that I really cared for this one, so we'll let that one go. We have Festival, which is super pretty. And I think I'll keep this one. Yeah, this one's super pretty. Festival. Then Love Struck, which is got a pretty good color story similar to the Natasha Denona. And then Mirage, which is this one. Yeah, I'll let that one go. And Starlit. I'm going to keep that one. Okay, and then I still have a whole nother bucket over here. I have Sunkissed. I'm going to keep that one. Nude Bliss. I really like this one. Keep. Sassy Siennas. Looks like this. This is a keep. And then we have Gold Rush. That's a keep. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because I have a lot. Minimalist. And I want to be able to get this video up. This is my third time recording it. And that is what that one looks like. Love that one. I have two of their bigger palettes, the Kaleidoscope and the Moonstone. I'm going to keep those. Then I have a lot of their tin pan palettes and I will be keeping these. I like these tin pan palettes. So we have Violets. The mattes, the classics, the rubies, the emeralds, the meadows, the pastels, the Euphoria, Citrine, Spectrum, Moss. Those are my 10 pen palettes. And then I have this one. I really don't know what the name is, but it's a little, it looks like a little clutch. And it is a nude, like a lot of nudes, like that. I'll be keeping that. I haven't even used that one yet. Then, sitting with these palettes, I have my Violet Voss palettes. I have Pinky Promise. Looks like that. That is a declutter. Olive You Forever is a keep. Violet Voss hashtag goals, HG. Holy Grail, that's what it stands for. And Violet Voss hashtag, and that's what that looks like. And I just had a shadow break all over me. Lovely. Okay, I have a whole bucket here of different brands right here, and they are all decluttered. So I'm going to go through these real quickly and let y'all see what I'm decluttering. Now, all of my stuff that I'm decluttering will be listed on Mercari about 24 hours after this video goes live. Okay, so next I have a couple She Glam palettes that I am decluttering. This is Blossom palette, like that. This is Beach Sunset. This is Rhapsody. This is Desert. And those are the four from She Glam that I am decluttering. I just never used them, so no point in keeping them. Okay, and then next I have some Makeup Revolution that I'm going to declutter. Emily the Edit palette. Looks like that. Makeup Revolution Salted Caramel. Looks like that. Declutter the Nudes. Looks like that. Declutter. Soph X, her first one. Declutter. As I said, all of these are going to be decluttered. And then I have some Colourpop, the Garden Variety. The Strawberry Shake. Almost dropped it. The Main Squeeze. I decided to keep the cherry palettes. I didn't need all three red palettes because I don't even wear them that much. Okay. And then I have another Makeup Revolution, the So Chilled palette. I have too many green palettes and I don't even wear green enough to keep them. This is Flawless Resurrection. It's not even open. So, okay, and then I've got some other ones here that are one-off. The Haken Henry Fuego palette. Super pretty, but I don't need it. Sweet Tooth. This is another really cute palette, but I don't need it. I have the ice cream palettes. I have too many. Way too many. And then this is Off Tropics by NYX. Looks like that. The Changeable Nebula palette, which is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. That's a declutter. The e.l.f. Retro Paradise palette. Declutter. The I'll Be There For You by Peachy Queen. Looks like that. That's a declutter. If I don't throw it in the garbage over there. Okay, and then the Cal Cosmetics. Looks like that. I used that palette once or twice, but I don't really need it, so we're going to declutter it. This is the Pretty Vulgar Phoenix Rising. Palette looks like that. These two palettes were like on sale on Ulta, so I picked them up, but I'm not going to use them. So this one is called Beauty Gems. That's all it says, is Beauty Gems, like that. Okay, and then this one is called, it's also from Ultimate Eye Palette. It's also from Beauty Gems, and it looks like this. It's got all kinds of eyeshadow in there. Never used it. Okay, this palette is going into the garbage because it's got a bunch of broken shades in it, but it was a pretty palette. Okay, and then this is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. That's a maybe. Okie dokie. And then I'm getting rid of this one. It's You Can Be an Anlin. It's a beautiful palette. Just don't need it. That is what that looks like. This is the Wet n Wild from Holiday a couple years ago. Letting that one go. This is from Oaklawn. It's the Amazonian Clay. It's a dupe for one of the Tarte palettes. I will be letting go of the Witching Hour by Colourpop. This color store just doesn't anything special in my opinion. So I will be getting rid of that. This is Golden Hour. Super pretty palette. I think I'll keep that. Looks like a good travel palette. Okay, let's see. I will be getting rid of the Celestial Thunder from Dominique Cosmetics. I will also be getting rid of all of my color books from Makeup Revolution. There's 5 of them. Okay, like I said, there's 5 of them. This is number 2. It is browns and oranges, like that. One side is shimmer, one side is matte. This is volume number 4. Again, shimmer and matte. Volume 3. Looks like that. Volume 5. Looks like that. Now these were decent quality. I used them to dupe a bunch of palettes. And if you don't have a large color collection, this would be great to add to it. And this is the black and gray one. This one I duped the entire Jeffree Star pre-mated palette with. That video is up on my channel if you want to check it out. Okay. Okay, next I'm going to do Juvia's Place, and then I'm going to do the Colourpop ones that I am keeping. There's probably too many. I probably need to let a few more go. Okay, first I have the Fumi Queen palette. This palette is beautiful, and I like that you can use it for blush and highlighter and eyeshadow. So that is a keep. I'm out of room, guys. I'm out of room. Then I have the Nomad by Juvia's Place. Looks like that. Love this palette. That'll be a keep. The Festival by Juvia's Place. Some of these palettes I need to do like a love it or list it type thing, because some of these I have not even used, so I don't know if I like them. You're going to find that in my collection a lot. More than, I would say 2/3 of my collection is unused. This is the Zulu palette. Loved this palette. It was my first collab. The Tribe palette. Now, this is such a beautiful palette. That will be staying. I have the 3 Warrior. These will be staying. These are definitely my color stories. So that's 1, 2, 3. I have the Wahala 2. I have Coral Nubian. Looks like this. I will be decluttering this one. The Masquerade Mini. Looks like this. Declutter. The Magic Mini. Looks like this. Yeah, that's a declutter. Just don't need this many. And then I have the Violets, which I will be... It's a keep for now, but possible declutter. Really need to go through my palettes and see what's what. The Berries by Juvia. That one's pretty. The Mauves. The Chocolates. And then I have the Bronzed Rustic. Like that. The Blushed Rustic. The Vanessa palette. This is super pretty. And then I have the Allure palette. This is the Allure 1. Allure 2. And Allure 3. So those are all my Juvia's place. Okay, now this is going to be all the Colourpop that I am keeping, which is a lot. I might even get rid of a few. I don't know. This is a build your own palette that I created from Colourpop. I have a couple more of singles. I have this one. And this one. And then this one is some of the shades from Kathleen Lights, but I made my own palettes. So that is that one that I have. Alright, my big palettes that I have are Play It Jewel, So Jaded, It's a Mood, Smoke and Roses, Stone Cold Fox, and Bare Necessities. And these are why I should be able to get rid of some of these, but I don't know. We'll see. 4 of the 9 pans in these plastic packagings that I have left. The rest I have sold. Or, if I can open it. Ooh. Gotta watch these come out. Blowing Smoke. But mine is Smoke Show, but it is now called Blowing Smoke. Going Coconut. Wild Child. And the one with Karuchi. Brown Sugar. And one of the shades is on the floor. But that is like, that one looks like. Okay. Now I have a lot of the cardboard packaging also. These are from 2021. It's Lucky Ox and Get That Coin. They are singles. Then I have The Mandalorian. This was a gift to me, otherwise I would have missed it. that is what that looks like. That will definitely be staying. Okay, and then I have some of these in the 9 pan. I have Big Poppy. Looks like that. I wish Colourpop would do all theirs like this. Coast to Coral. Because they're recyclable. That is Ray of Sunshine. I have cats in the background, y'all. I have Fine Feathered. Cherry Crush, which is why I got rid of the other red palettes. I just don't need that many. These two I really should just get rid of because I have all these palettes. And this is Blush Crush. And this is Nude Mood. So those are a maybe. Should just get rid of them. Yeah, I'm just going to declutter them. And then I have High Tide. Looks like that. Very pretty palette. Lock It Down. That's what that looks like. And then I have all from this series. The Baroque palette. The Ornate. The Grandeur. I have the Tinkerbell palette. What that looks like. You'll notice I don't keep much of the packaging. There's certain ones that I do. And then this is So Fly. And this is Wannabe. So those are some of them. Then I have more over here. Get these out of my way. Okay. Truly, Madly, Deeply. Beautiful palette. Roaring Hearts. These only went to Ulta, and you can no longer get them. This is Butter Me Up. And it is a shame, because these are some of the prettiest palettes Colourpop's done. A Flutter. And Give Me Butterflies. Those are some of the prettiest ones they've done. Okay, and then these were, I believe, last year's holiday palettes. The Boudoir Noir. Looks like that. These are so heavy compared to most of their palettes. Ménage à Moi. Super pretty palettes. Then I have Bye Bye Birdie. Looks like that. Whatever. California Love. At Foresight. The Raw Beauty collab. Ticket to Dreamland. On a Whimsy. Then I have the Disney Princess collabs. I also have the other Hocus Pocus palette. You guys know what this looks like. These are all in packages. This is the Misunderstood. That's what that looks like. The Designer collection. Looks like that. I don't know if these are discontinued or not. I think they might be. And this one is Midnight Masquerade. And that is what that looks like. So that is my Colourpop palettes. Okay, so I have a whole bucket sitting right here behind me of declutter. There are several different brands. I'm just going to show you these because, like I said, this is my third time filming this. So these have all already made the chopping block to leave. Okie dokie. So first off, I'm getting rid of the 3 Beauty Creation palettes from their Circus collection, I believe is what it was called. And this is the palette Fortune Teller. I just have so many palettes and so many colorful palettes, and I just can't keep them all. Ringmaster. Yeah, this is what that one looks like. Got some pretty cool tones in this one. And Circus Clown. And that is what that one looks like. I believe I only used one of these, and I believe it was Circus Clown. Not sure. But those are a declutter. Ooh, I have so much stuff. Okay. I have 2 NYX palettes that I'm keeping. And this is a declutter. This is a Modern Dreamer. That is a declutter. I do have the Ultimate Queen, which I will be keeping, and the Ultimate Utopia. These are really good palettes. Okay. Like I said, that one is going. Then I have the Lurella palette on the edge, is what it's called. And that is what that beautiful palette looks like. I look at these and I'm like, do I want to get rid of them? Yes, yes you do. You do want to get rid of them, Stacy. For the love of God. And then I have the Emily Edit palette. Now this palette was used, abused, and loved, but I think I'm just going to discard this one. Then I have the Morphe and Manny palette. And that is what that looks like. Okay, let's do BH next. The BH that I'm keeping is the Lit List, which is this beautiful palette. The cat, I have a cat right here, so Doja Cat, speaking of cats, I'm going to be decluttering. The palette just was not anything to write home about. Now some of the palettes I'm keeping are Mimosa, looks like that. Smitten in Switzerland, looks like that. Puerto Rico, looks like that. Avocado Toast, and it looks like that. Then I have 4 of the Cotton Candy Sweet Shops. The Orange Sorbet, Cotton Candy, Cherry on Top, and Sugar Cone. Then I also have Desert Oasis. I will not be getting rid of this. This is one of my favorite palettes. And then I have these 2, the Glam Reflections. I have Smoke and Gilded. And that is all that I have left of my BH collection. I had like tons of BH palettes. But when they declared bankruptcy pretty much, I got rid of a bunch of those. So that is my BH collection. Next I'm going to go on to Morphe, because I have a crap ton of Morphe. Little Miss Doodle wanted to say hi. Say hi, guys. Okay, Mama, go play. Okay, so for Morphe, I have piles everywhere. I'll start with the 9 pans over here. I will be keeping these. Some of them I just got last Christmas and haven't used yet. So I have the Painted Desert. Looks like that. I really need to go back through my Colourpop and my Morphe and get rid of some duplicates. This is Neutral Territory. This is in the older packaging. It's 9C, which looks like that. And as you can tell, that one was loved. I love when they make these palettes, but they could use a little better glue. Okay, and next is 9V. This is the older one than the black packaging. However, I have it in the new packaging also. And that is what that looks like. Such a pretty palette. 9S, which is So Chill. Looks like that. Khaki Calling, which is 9K. And it looks like that. 9E, which is Pretty and Peach. These are a nightmare to open. Looks like that. Smoke and Shadow, 9W. Looks like that. 9J, Just a Crush. Like that. This is also 9J, which I will get rid of that one, keep the new one. The next one is, these are so dusty, Lavendays. And that is what that looks like. So those are my 9 pans. I bought those in a bundle last Christmas from Ulta. Okay, now we're gonna, some of these are the ones I'm getting rid of. Like I said, I already done this video. This is the 39S, Such a Gem. That's what that palette looks like. I will be decluttering that. I have the Beauty Bay big palette. I mean, I'll have that kind of color story, so I don't need that. This is the Morphe and Disney palette. Looks like that. I'm on the fence about this one, but for now it's in declutter pile, so we will declutter that. Okay. This is the Nikita palette. Looks like that. Not Morphe's Best Formula. The Ashley Strong palette. Beautiful palette, but I really just don't need it. And the 35OM, which is all matte palette. The 35H. Looks like that. Beautiful palette. Decluttered. 35V. Looks like that. That is a declutter. I really need to get all these listed on so we can get rid of them. 15D. Looks like that. This is 15N. It looks like that. Okie dokie. Let's see. Do I have it? Yeah. Also, I'll be getting rid of the Perfusion matte palette. I didn't see that one in here. Okay. Excuse me, doodle girl. Okay, the 35R. Some pretty golds. That's a declutter. Now these, I got 2 in the mail, and both times they came broke. So I'm just going to declutter them. I might pop out the blushes, but yeah, they came in broke. They both came in broke. So yeah, I might pop out the blushes. I don't know. I have the Neutrals blush and eyeshadow palette. This one's never been used, so I'll declutter that, because somebody could get use out of that. Oh, another BH, and I got 2 more BH. The Sylvia Guiney, that palette can go. And this one is being retired to no man's land, because it is super, super old. It is one of the BH Cosmetics' very first palettes. I will not be throwing it away because it's kind of like a relic, in my opinion. But yeah, it definitely is not going on anyone's eyes. Okay, so now some of the ones I'm going to keep, I have down here. Cats are knocking palettes over. I have the Maddie Ziegler palette. Love this palette. This was a very well made palette. Morphe's collabs are usually not the best, and I usually don't like them, but that collab was actually pretty good. So I decided I'll keep that one. I'm trying to get stuff out of my way here. Okay, so that's a keep. And then I have 35G Bronze Goals. Looks like that. 35S, the Oasis. Beautiful, beautiful palette. 35X Big Pimpin. That is what that looks like. Ma'am, this is not your video. 35XO. See, these are why I don't need to keep all those 9-pan palettes, but I do. And then this is the 3503. These are good. Then I have the 35T, which is an extension of the Jaclyn Hill palette, if you ask me. This is the 35D. Just gouged a shadow. Okay, and then the Morphe and Pony palette. That's what that looks like. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that that is Wyatt. He is the master of the house, for sure. And then we have Richard joining us. We have the 35XS. This is the No Silent Night palette. This is one of the recent ones that just came out. We have the, excuse me, sir, the 35U Gilded Desert. I didn't mean to get down that way, buddy. The 35A Up Till Dawn. I love Morphe. I know not a lot of people do. And I don't care what the brand owner does. That's not my problem. I like the makeup, so I buy it. Then I have a few of the black plastic palettes still. Lord, these are all dusty. This is the 3502. I am keeping it just for that shade right there. I love that shade. And then we have the 35O. That looks like that. Then we have 35C. Looks like that. 35M. And 35F, which it looks like that. And we have, this one is going into the nostalgia bin. It was a gift, but it is super old. And it looks like this. Starting to pile on the floor now. Then I have Jaclyn Hill Volume 1. Hey, Muffin. Jaclyn Hill Volume 2. What you doing, buddy? Okay, then I have the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals. The 24A. Hey! Go somewhere. Okay, cat fight. 35A Artist Pass. I'm keeping it for the glitters. Then we have the Alani Gregg. I'm keeping it for the liners. The Coca-Cola. I'm keeping that. Ma'am! Lord have mercy. This is the Coca-Cola palette. I will be keeping that. Okay, let's get this mess cleaned up a little bit. Okay, I'm also going to keep this palette, but only for nostalgia purposes. The performance was... So yeah, okay, let's get into... I have some LA Girl palettes here, and some e.l.f. And I will be keeping most of this. I have the Desert Dream palette. Looks like that. The Hey Hey Vacay. This one is Under the Palms. Looks like that. This one is Good Times and Tan Lines. And this one is very close to the Zendo palette by Natasha Denona. And then this is the Break Free series. This is BU. Looks like that. This is Me. And it looks like that. And the Pro Mastery, which has a broken shade, but that is what that looks like. So those are some keeps. Then I have some more beauty creations here that I will be letting go of. The Eye Bloom from Beauty Creations. Looks like that. I have the Vintage Romance. It looks like that. These are all getting decluttered. Then I have these. They're the Mini Pro collection. I have all 4 of them. This is Volume 1. All of these have not been used, maybe swatched, but that's about it. Volume 2. Volume 3. Looks like that. And Volume 4. And those will all be decluttered. Okay. Now these are 2 new little palettes that I just picked up, and they're from Hard Candy. This is the Marquee palette and the Future Visions palette. I just picked those up. Okay, this is a declutter. It's the Mama Mitchell, Made by Mitchell palette, and Want Some Milk. And it is super pretty. Looks like that. So that will be a declutter. Maybe, because there's a shade in there I noticed coming out. Okay, now I have some e.l.f. palettes that we're going to go through. These were all holiday from like 2 years ago, I think. They don't have names at all. But this is what this one looks like. And this one. And this one. And these are all decluttered. And then I have a few I'm going to keep. I have the Earth and Ocean, which I really don't think I need this one. Earth and Ocean. Yeah, no, I can let that one go. Opposites Attract. That's what that looks like. The New Classics. Now this one I will keep. Those other ones I'm just going to let go. Then I have, this is a dupe for the Huda Naughty palette. It's from Amazon. The brand is Langbani. Then I have this palette, which is called Magic Spell, and it is a dupe for a Lime Crime palette. This is very good quality. Love it. This one is called Living Coral. Looks like this. Another really good palette. One of the last palettes that I have from Shop Hush and Bad Habit. It's the After Party. This is a dupe for a Huda palette, and I actually like this one better than the Huda one. We have another visitor. Say hi, Art. Okay. Then I have this palette. It's an Ophir palette. Good to go. I'm keeping it for the blush and highlight and such. I don't care for the shadows. Then I have the Gourmand Girls Exquisite palette. This was given to me by my bestie Renee. Then I have one of the original Gourmand Girl palettes. It doesn't... Iris Bouquet was the name of this one. Then I have this by Estate Cosmetics, keeping it merely because I love Bailey Sarian. Then I have, it's a dupe for the Heat palette, and it's by You Can Be. You Can Be can be found on Amazon. And that is that palette. These are all keeps. So, let's see what's next. Okay, next up I'm going to run through my Beauty Bay collection. These are all keep, by the way. Beauty Bay is definitely one of my absolute favorite brands and formulas. So these will all be keeps for sure. Okay. First I'll start with the small ones that I have, which are the Disney. This is Bambi. Now they took these palettes, the colors from the actual movies. 1941 Dumbo. Alice in Wonderland, the 1951 version. The Alice in Wonderland also, but that color palette. And then the Jungle Book. Super pretty. Then I have some of the smaller palettes. Let me see what I did with the... Okay. These are their 8-pan palettes, and this is Techna Days. Beautiful. Utopia. And Pastels. Then I have the 16-pan in Nude. The 16-pan in Berries. And that's what that looks like. So those are the smaller ones. And then I have their limited edition ones, which I don't know why they would do that when they're such great palettes. Sunset Horizon. Looks like that. New Romantic. Looks like that. Book of Magic. That looks like that. Age of Opulence. Looks like that. And Wilderness. That looks like that. Then they have the Nude Mood. That looks like that. And Dark Fantasy, which looks like that. Okay, now on to the big ones. Okay, I have quite a few of the big ones as well. I have the collab with Jade, which looks like that. I have the Nude palette. Looks like that. Earthy. Looks like that. Midnight. Looks like that. The Brights. Looks like that. Bright 2.0. Which is brand spanking new to me. Then I have the Fiery palette. The Fiery 2.0. The Neutrals. And the 42 pan berries they came out with finally. And that is my Beauty Bay collection. And that is where I'm going to end part 1. Part 2 will be shortly after this one is uploaded. So if you want to see part 2 and the numbers, because the numbers will be in part 2. Oh, and there's a kitty saying goodbye. Then just stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Until later, my friends, let's build each other up. Be proud of who you are, and always stay beautiful. Much love.